Africa. My name is Uria, and I will be discussing about our week 7 tutorial questions. And we are in group 3. There are a total of 3 questions in the tutorial questions, and I will be discussing the answers on question 1. So the question 1 is: discuss with a group of friends how land ownership in your own country has influenced the cost and benefits derived from tourism. So we have actually discussed the answers as a group, and we have come up with some interesting points which I will be elaborating on with question 1. So question 1, my answer is tourism influences Pacific Island societies by challenging traditions, social structures and cultural practices. On the other hand, Pacific Islanders traditionally share communal resources and responsibilities. So the examples of cost and benefits of land ownership from tourism, the examples will be based in Fiji, with my answers. The Fijian government has been very active in protecting and legislating customary land ownership rights. Native land in Fiji is governed by the decent group structure of traditional tribal hierarchy system. So the hierarchical system in our traditional village, or how the hierarchy structures is that the chief is the head or the top of the structure, and then we have the councils or the committee members and the spokesperson, and then we have the members of the villages, the villages overall at the bottom. So the land ownership, as I've said, rests with the Matangali. It lands with the hierarchical traditional committees in any village, acting like unit composed primarily of groups of families linked through kinship ties, which has come to represent the basic social structure of indigenous Fijian society. So this is just a brief history of how land tenure has been happening, on how it has been governed all over the years. So NLTB, which is Native Land Transport, the government body that looks after or governs land tenure in Fiji. They look after and control the selling of land and the ownerships of lands. So they negotiate on behalf of the landowners of the leasing of customary land to tourism developers. And the board has thus been involved in all major tourism projects in Fiji. And they often work behind the scenes, contributing to the proposal of developing new tourism infrastructures. So, in terms of the cost of land ownership derived from tourism, one cost would be lack of empowerment and awareness of landowners. Members of the landowner communities do not feel empowered to have sufficient experience to have a genuine say about whether proposed development should go ahead. They also this also can be caused by lack of representation from the villages, from the community members. For example, that most of the community were very ill informed about the deal of tourism development and the land, and which may have led to lack of awareness and empowerment. So on the other hand, the benefit of land ownership derived from tourism is that I can say there are 2 types of benefits: informal and formal benefits. So I will relate one example in the Asawos. The Asawos is at the northern island of Fiji, of how tourism has benefited the local people. The Asawa Islands of people provided Pacific backpackers. The Asawa Islands of Fiji. And tourists using this, a few resorts are on privately owned land, the rest are on communal land and are locally owned and operated by family groups. Tourists using these accommodation
Okay, good afternoon. My name is Ralph Tamara, and I will be answering question two. Yeah, I am also part of group three. And question two, the question reads: the effect of free trade and globalization on the economies of developing countries are still hotly debated. Try formulate arguments for and against free trade from a tourism perspective. Okay, so here I formulated two arguments from, for, and two arguments against. Okay, so arguments for free trade in tourism. The first one is economic growth. So by expanding tourism-related investments, creating job opportunities, and producing foreign exchange gains, free trade can boost economic growth in underdeveloped countries. Travelers find it easier to visit a country when trade obstacles are lower or removed, which increases visitor numbers and spending in turn. This strengthens the local economy and as a multiplier impact by boosting related industries including hospitality. The second argument for free trade in tourism is market access. Free trade agreements provide developing nations more access to the global tourism market. Countries can increase tourism by giving affordable prices, by removing taxes and restrictions on travel related goods and services. So as a result, local businesses are able to reach out to international tourism and grow their consumer bases. So those are the two arguments for free trade. The arguments against free trade in tourism. First one is dependency on foreign market. So due to free trade agreements, developing nations that rely significantly on tourism risk becoming too dependent on foreign markets. Economic instability can result from fluctuations in the state of the global economy and modification in travel habits. If a nation's economy is primarily focused on tourism without diversification into other industries, this vulnerability may worsen. The second argument against free trade in tourism is cultural homogenization. Critics claim that free trade can result in cultural uniformity in the travel and tourist sectors of emerging nations. Local cultures and traditions run the risk of being lost or turned into commodities as more foreign hotel chains and multinational travel agencies enter the market. So this is the answer to question two.
For question number three, answer: for such small Pacific island countries like Solomon Island, we are a third world country and we are very dependent on the innovation and creativity of locals and indigenous skills when it comes to tourism. The tourism sector is one of the most important sectors that contribute to our national economic development. The indigenous people of Solomon Islands had the creativity and skill mindset of entrepreneurs, which they used to help the development of tourism sites in the Solomon Islands. Furthermore, they also have the ability to start any corporation or businesses, slowly develop it, and continue to invest in it to become a large business or multinational corporation within the Solomon Islands.
Tutorial 7 answers for question number 3. In Fiji, both perspectives can be observed to some extent, but this situation leans more towards Britain's view of tourism as a neo colonial extension. While there may be elements of indigenous skills and creativity in Fiji's tourism industry, and overarching structures and control of the industries in largely dictated by multinational corporations and foreign investments. One of the key reasons for this is the significant influence of international hotel chains and tour operations in Fiji. These multinational corporations often have a major presence in the country's tourism sector, owning and operating luxurious resorts that cater primarily to foreign visitors. These resorts tend to be located in coastal areas away from local communities and contribute to the creation of isolated enclaves that remain disconnected from the rest of the country. Moreover, these international companies often bring their own management structures, labor practice, and marketing strategies that prioritize the interest and demand of the global market. This can lead to a situation where local Fijians have limited decision making power and are often positioned in lower level roles within the tourism industries, while managerial positions and higher value jobs are dominated by expatriates worker or individual with international experience. The economic benefits of tourism in Fiji are also not evenly distributed throughout the country. The majority of the revenue generated by the industry tend to flow back to the multinational corporation rather than staying within the local economic. This creates a situation where the country becomes dependent on foreign exchange earning and foreign investment learning Fijian with limited control over their own tourism industries. Additionally, the dominance of multinational corporations in Fiji's tourism sector can lead to cultural commodification and the promotion of a westernized vision of Fijian culture to suit the desire of international tourism. This may result in the marginalization and dilution of authentic cultural practices and the prioritize of tourist friendly activities that may not accurately reflect the everyday life of local communities. Thank you.